Lucy and Alex had been married for 5 years. Before exchanging vows, they had dated for a couple of years, and during a beach vacation, Alex proposed in the most magical way Lucy could have ever imagined. Since her college days, Lucy had always surrounded herself with a large circle of friends who loved traveling, attending concerts, and gathering for lively get-togethers. However, Alex never quite connected with her social circle. He was naturally reserved and didn't enjoy their outings. Every few months, Lucy would insist that he join her, but over time, she stopped pushing, realizing how out of place he felt among them. At first, Lucy was frustrated by Alex's reluctance to be part of her social life, often teasing him for being dull. But as time went on, she accepted that it was pointless to try to change him. One weekend, her group of friends planned another gathering, and as expected, Alex chose not to attend. However, something unexpected happened that night. Mark, an old friend who had moved overseas for work years ago, made a surprise appearance at the gathering. Mark had always been the life of the party, known for his captivating stories and effortless charm. Whenever he hosted an event, all eyes and ears were on him. He explained that his work contract abroad had ended, and while deciding whether to renew it, he had returned home for a vacation. The entire night, the group bombarded him with questions about life in Europe and everything he had experienced during his time away. Lucy, in particular, couldn't take her eyes off him. He had changed so much since they had last met. He looked incredible, clearly staying in shape, and still carried the same effortless charisma she remembered. Mark basked in everyone's attention, but there was something different about the way he looked at Lucy. Years ago, they had almost been more than just friends. At a birthday party, after having a little too much to drink, they had confessed their secret crushes on each other. One thing led to another, and by morning, they had woken up side by side. However, the timing had been all wrong. Mark had just accepted a job offer abroad, and with all the paperwork finalized, he flew out the following week. Lucy had been heartbroken, but she had no choice but to move on. Soon after, she met Alex, and whatever lingering feelings she had for Mark were buried under the excitement of new love and fresh beginnings. Lucy had never told Alex about her past with Mark, nor that their connection had been more than just friendship. That night, when Lucy returned home from the gathering, she couldn't wait to tell Alex about Mark's unexpected return. She recounted every detail of the evening, her face glowing with excitement. As she shared Mark's stories, it was as if she had been right there with him on every adventure. Her enthusiasm came alive with every word she spoke. Determined to uncover the truth, Alex made up his mind. He would follow Lucy and catch her in the act. On Saturday, the moment Lucy left, he used an emergency tracking app they had installed long ago. She had never thought he'd actually use it, assuming he trusted her completely. But trust was no longer in the equation. Within half an hour, Alex found himself parked outside an unremarkable apartment complex, the location her phone had led him to. He waited, scanning the building's entrance, his grip tightening on the steering wheel. Less than an hour later, Lucy stepped out. She had her phone in hand, likely ordering a cab. Her expression looked tense, her hair slightly disheveled, as if someone had been running their fingers through it. Alex leaned on the horn. Startled, Lucy turned toward the sound, squinting at the unfamiliar car before cautiously approaching. The closer she got, the more discomfort flickered across her face. She hesitated before opening the passenger door, her voice shaky as she stammered, What are you doing here?" Alex's expression was unreadable. His voice, however, was cold and firm. "Get in." The silence inside the car was suffocating, the air thick with unspoken words. After what felt like an eternity, Lucy finally broke. "What's going on?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Alex didn't sugarcoat it. He told her he knew everything. There was no friend gathering, no extra work shifts. Then he gave her a chance. "Be honest," he said. "Tell me where you really were. And with whom?" She tried to feign innocence, but Alex had already seen enough. His patience snapped. His voice rose, frustration spilling over like a dam breaking. Under the weight of his fury and undeniable proof, Lucy caved. She admitted it. She had been with Mark. Alex didn't say another word. He simply started the engine, and pulled onto the road. Panic crept into Lucy's voice. "Where are we going?" His response was devoid of emotion. "To pack your things. I'm done." The divorce happened quickly. Though heartbroken, Alex refused to let the betrayal consume him. He focused on moving forward, refusing to dwell on what had already been shattered. As for Lucy, she didn't seem particularly remorseful. If anything, she was relieved. No more sneaking around, no more hiding. She continued seeing Mark, convinced that they were finally free to build a future together. But Lucy had overlooked something crucial. Mark had never planned to stay. He had been clear from the start. His return was only temporary. When Lucy finally realized he would be leaving in a week, desperation took hold. She begged him to take her along, swearing she didn't care where they went. She assumed he would cover her travel expenses, help her secure a visa, make it easy for her. But Mark wasn't the kind of man to invest in someone he had just rekindled a fling with. And Lucy? She had no savings, no financial stability. She had always relied on Alex. For a while, she clung to Mark, bombarding him with texts, refusing to accept reality. But soon enough, the truth became impossible to ignore. Mark had moved on, back in his home country. He had already started seeing someone else. Lucy was left with nothing. Regret weighed down on her like an anchor, suffocating and inescapable. Loneliness became her only companion. She buried herself in work, trying to keep the emptiness at bay. But no matter how busy she stayed, every night ended the same way, alone, with nothing but the shattered remains of her choices.